everyone, welcome to Vajiram and Ravi's Places in News. My name is Shubhangi Singh and today we will be discovering and understanding about places that have been in news from the perspective of your exam. So let us begin with global places first, starting with Southern Ocean. So if we talk about Southern Ocean has been interestingly in news because of carbon anomaly. So basically, as per the usual climate models, it was expected that with increase in emissions and strong westerly winds, it will be Southern Ocean which will be releasing carbon dioxide and not storing it up. But apparently, Southern Ocean has decided to store up more now. So this anomaly has been seen and that is why Southern Ocean has been in news. This respite from Southern Ocean is not forever. It is something that is helping human beings to fight climate change, but it needs to be addressed, and that is why this has gained a lot of attention, because how climate change impacts might intensify later. We might not see it as of now, and how there might be lack of accuracy in the existing climate models. There's so much more to know and there is huge uncertainty, especially over global carbon budgets. So when we talk about the location of Southern Ocean, it is the ocean which encircles all of the Antarctica. So if you see in the given map, after the 60 degrees south latitude, whichever ocean you will find, it will be Southern Ocean in all directions. So it lies south of 60 degrees south latitude and it is the southernmost ocean which surrounds Antarctica. Now if you see it in the global map, you will find to understand that this is the one which connects South Pacific Ocean, South Atlantic Ocean and South Indian Ocean as well. So here we get to see connectivity in terms of oceans, where we are getting connectivity with South Atlantic, South Pacific and South Indian Ocean. And it is also known for its Antarctic circumpolar current which goes around here. This is the world's strongest ocean current. Why we are saying circumpolar? Because this goes around whole of the circumference that is taking place. That is why it is one of the strongest current which is placed across the world. When we are talking about Southern Ocean, let us also understand certain physical characteristics. For example, how it is the coldest and stormiest ocean that we get to see. Furthermore, it is also known for the deep water upwelling zones which are present here, and there we get to see highest amount of interaction between atmosphere, between ocean systems and also ice. If you remember, the formation of ozone hole was over Antarctica, and it was also because of this very interaction. Because this interaction is similarly not seen in the same way at Arctic. Now when we are talking about Southern Ocean, let us move and understand the significance. It is heavily important when we talk about the environmental and climatic dimensions here, because this is the place which absorbs 40% of excess anthropogenic heat. That means human generated heat that is being present, 40% which is already excess, it is absorbed by Southern Ocean, and 25 to 30% of oceanic CO2 is uptaken by this ocean, and that is why it is able to contribute to the regulation of global temperature, ice sheet stability and sea level rise as well. From the scientific dimension, you have to understand that any changes in this ocean will directly affect the carbon cycle and the feedback loop, and also how reliable we can get in terms of IPCC climate projections. Now on this note, we will be moving to the next place that we are doing today. Apart from the projections, there are significance in terms of geopolitical and governance related dimensions. Big is when we talk about Southern Ocean, it falls under global commons and it is governed through Antarctica Treaty System, and also it is used for only scientific purposes, driven under international scientific cooperation. If we talk about India, India has multiple research stations in Antarctic. Can you tell me in the comment section what are the names of these research stations? Now on this note, we will be moving to the next place in news, that is Netherlands. Netherlands has been in news because India and Netherlands have reaffirmed their defense ties. A letter of intent has been signed on defense cooperation, and furthermore we have also seen that India and Netherlands have signed an MOU to preserve for National Maritime Heritage Complex, which is present at Lothal. So when we talk about location of Netherlands, you will see that this country is present in Western Europe, just on the eastern end of the North Sea. Apart from that, can you tell me in the comment section, Netherlands is known by another name as a country. What is that? If you look at Netherlands, it is bordered by Belgium in south, then we have Germany in west, Germany in east, and it is a deltaic region also, where you find presence of multiple rivers, be it Rhine, be it Meuse and Scheldt rivers as well. And as the name itself suggests, Netherlands, 1/3 of the land in this particular region lies below the sea level. So Netherlands, low land area, that is what the name signifies. There are two main important regions. First, I think we all know Amsterdam, which is the capital of this very country. Second, that is Rotterdam, which is the biggest port of this whole continent, that is Europe. Apart from that, when we are talking about the significance of this particular country, it has a huge relation in terms of environmental and climatic factors, because this being below sea level, it is highly prone to sea level rise, storm surges and also river flooding. And that is why it has shown up as a global leader in not just flood management but also delta engineering, where they have appropriately used dikes, polders and barriers as well. Apart from this, in terms of significance, Netherlands houses Rotterdam port, which is very crucial not just for global supply chains but for the energy imports that take place in Europe. And Netherlands serves as a great case study for you when we are talking about climate adaptation governance and also disaster risk reduction, especially in developed economies that we get to see. Now on this note, we will be moving to the next place that is in news, that is in Nigeria. Nigeria has been in news because Donald Trump used the US forces to conduct strike against ISIS in Nigeria, and that was because they were the ones who killed Christians in the country. This has raised multiple questions about how external military intervention takes place and how ethical it gets, and also long-term stability that we can expect, especially in West Africa, because Nigeria remains one of the biggest economic powerhouse of whole of the Africa. So when we are talking about the location, Nigeria is located in West African region on the coast. When we are talking about Nigeria, it is bordered by multiple countries such as Niger, we have in north, then in west we have Benin, then we have Chad in east, as well as Cameroon in the east. If we talk about the coast, we have coast in the south, where it is along the Gulf of Guinea. The capital of Nigeria is Abuja, which is centrally located, and the major economic hub of this region is Lagos, which is again a port city here. In terms of physical geography, it is not only known for Sahel region, which is present in north, but also the forest as well as coastal zones which are present across the country. Now when we talk about significance of this very country, we have to understand that it is very important from the perspective of geopolitical global supply chains, because it is Africa's most populous country and also it is a major oil producer. So any disruption here will cause energy disruptions, which will impact the global oil markets also and the stability of their own economy. Other than that, we also get to see any instability in this region disturbs the security in the Sahel region, it impacts the migration flow, and the regional counter-terrorism efforts are also affected directly by it. Other than that, when we are looking at other factors such as humanitarian dimension, we have to understand that this area has been conflict driven, and any kind of conflict further in this region leads to displacement, which further strains the governance and also the development that is possible in this region. From the perspective of India, Nigeria is an important partner in terms of energy imports, diaspora engagement, and also a major leader when we are looking towards South-South cooperation. Now we will be moving to the next place. We will be looking into some Indian places, starting with the first one, that is Bhima River. So Bhima River has been in news because Karnataka has gone ahead to center and they have urged that center needs to intervene because Maharashtra is using excess of Bhima River's water. So if we talk about Bhima River, this has raised the debate yet again that how river basins should be governed, what kind of water disputes do we get to see in amongst the states, and what center can do in this context. When we are talking about Bhima River, it is an important tributary of river Krishna and it is a perennial one. That means the water is present all across the year. It is not a seasonal river. The origin of this river is near Bhima Shankar temple in the Bhima Shankar hills. If you have to understand, it is basically the Western Ghat region that we are talking about. So you get to see that it flows from Maharashtra where 75% of its basins lie. Then it crosses Karnataka and then it enters Telangana. If we talk about the drainage basin, it is important that we understand that it is bounded by Western Ghat on the western end, and then we have Balaghat range in the north and Mahadev hills in the south. As I said, the major area lies in Maharashtra itself. If we talk about the physiography here, it is flowing in a well entrenched valley, especially as you can see between Balaghat range and Mahadev hills, and it is absolutely crucial for irrigation as well as urban water supply if we talk about this very region. The major tributaries of Bhima River are Indriani, Mula and Mutha Pavana on the right bank, and on the left bank we have Sina and Nira, which are the left bank tributaries. If we talk about the significance of this river, we have to understand that how it greatly contributes to agriculture. It is the irrigational lifeline of sugarcane and the food crops which are produced around this region, where through it flows in Deccan Plateau. Then from the urban and industrial context, it not only supports Pune metropolitan region, but the downstream towns which are present on the banks. In terms of governance, this is a classic case study which highlights how there are existent gaps in interstate river management and real-time data sharing in terms of usage. And from the perspective of exam, you can use it as a case study for federalism and water governments and also interstate water disputes. On this note, we will be moving to the next place in news, that is Kuttanad Wetland. Kuttanad Wetland has been in news because of the soil test in this region, which is known for the production of paddy. It has been found that aluminium levels have been 39 to 165 times higher than the safe limits. So this has raised many concerns about the production that takes place, the government intervention that should be in this scenario, long-term soil fertility, and how sustainable is below sea level farming. So if we talk about the location of Kuttanad Wetland, you get to see this region. If you are able to recognize the state, this is Kerala, and then we have Alappuzha and Kottayam districts. So in this region, Kuttanad Wetland is located and it is part of the Vembanad wetland system. So if you see Vembanad lake, this is where we found North Kuttanad, then we have Kayal lands, we have Lower Kuttanad, then we also have Upper Kuttanad right here. And it is uniquely known for the fact that this is one of the few places which lie below sea level, but agriculture is practiced here. So the hydrological setting is very different here because interlinked canals are present, backwaters are present, and we also have the presence of polders which are used for agriculture and maintaining the water flow in the region, the hydrological setting in the region. Furthermore, in terms of significance, as I said, agriculture is a unique feature here. That is why known as the rice bowl of Kerala. Furthermore, It supports thousands of small farmers in this region. Ecologically, it is absolutely of great essence because wetlands are important ecological points of conservation. This is a Ramsar type wetland ecosystem that exists. There is rich biodiversity and fish resources. Can you tell me in the comment section, is Vembanad Lake a Ramsar site or not? However, this region is plagued with multiple challenges such as soil toxicity, salinity ingress that we are seeing, and climate change induced flooding which have been seen in recent years. So this also calls for a immediate attention in the need of our that how agriculture, especially in wetland sensitive areas, needs to be conducted, and integration of water and soil and how that can be managed in the coming years. Now on this note, we will be moving towards the next place and the last place for today, that is Coringa Wildlife Sanctuary. So recently the 40th Asian Waterbird Census is to be done in the upcoming month of January, and this census will primarily be undertaken in the Godavari estuary, which is one of the prominent sites where we get to see multiple waterbirds. And in this context, Coringa Wildlife Sanctuary, which is a prominent part of Godavari estuary, is in news. So when we talk about Coringa Wildlife Sanctuary, it is situated in Andhra Pradesh and it is part of the Godavari estuary. It is located where Coringa River goes ahead and falls off in Bay of Bengal, and the vegetation here is extensive mangrove forest, and there is also presence of dry tropical deciduous forest. This place is also known for the second largest mangrove stretch that we have found in India, a fact that can be important from a perspective of exams that you can quote in your answers as well. If we talk about flora, we have some dominant mangrove species, be it Rhizophora, Avicennia or Soneraceae. Other than that, in terms of fauna, we also have endangered animals such as smooth Indian otter, fishing cat, jackal, and there is rich avifauna as well. That means we have black-capped kingfisher, Brahmini kite, we have reef heron, sandpiper and seagulls. So the biodiversity is extreme here, and which is also rare. This is the region which also serves as a breeding ground for olive ridley hurdles. It acts as a natural coastal buffer because of mangroves. It has high blue carbon sequestration, and it is a critical nursery habitat for fish and birds both. In terms of significance, if we talk about, before that let us also discuss about the Asian Waterbird Census that is about to take place. So it is basically a citizen science program where there is monitoring of wetlands and also waterbirds, and it is part of the International Waterbird Census. So since 1987, it was initiated in the Indian subcontinent, and it covers the region from Afghanistan to Japan, Southeast Asia to Australasia. In India, it is conducted by BNHS and WII, that is Bombay Natural History Society and Wildlife Institute of India. And Coringa remains an important AWC monitoring site because of the high biodiversity. If we talk about the significance of this very region, ecologically it is the second largest mangrove stretch, habitat not just for migratory birds, we have estuarine fauna and saltwater crocodiles, breeding region for olive ridley turtles. Environmental protection, if we talk about, it gives us a protection as natural cyclone buffer, erosion control system, high blue carbon sequestration, and you can use it as a case study example when we are talking about mangrove system, coastal zone management, Asian Waterbird Census, an important sanctuary in that context. Now that was all from my side. Thank you so much.